If you're a printmaker, you probably have a growing pile of prints like these, and not all of them become finished artworks. Welcome back to the Home Print Studio. One of the most common questions I hear from printmakers is, what do you do with all the prints that don't quite become finished pieces? Because while we might not want to keep every print, it can feel impossible to throw away those really beautiful marks. So in this video, I'm going to share some of my favourite ways to transform printed papers into new artworks and useful pieces. If you don't know me, I'm Ruth, and I'm a printmaker and teacher, and I help artists to deepen their practice through hand printing at home from my tiny studio in Bristol, UK. If you'd like to stay in my world and receive all my content straight to your inbox, then please do join my email list. The link is below. You also get your free guide, Start Printmaking Today. You already have everything you need as well. Right, let's get making. So I have been left with loads of beautiful papers and marks after my free event a couple of weekends ago. And I don't want to chuck them. Some of them are really beautiful. So I'm going to have a really good look at them. That's the first thing I suggest. So first of all, really properly look at what you've got. Separate them out, assess them. So some of these things may just need 1 or 2 extra marks on them to make them into something quite special. Some things are beautiful textures and the whole piece of paper is gorgeous, and I might use that to cover a book or some such like that. Some things I mostly don't like, but I can use them for collage. So the first thing I'm going to do is have a go at putting just a couple more marks on a couple of these pieces or one of these pieces to see if I can make it into something 100% rather than 75%. So this one in particular, I really liked it. I wondered if I could just put on an extra colour, something bright. So I've just put a rather painterly mark on there, a monoprint mark. I'm going to add a horizon line in, as a brighter horizon line. And I'm basically just working with opposites here. You know, the orange should make the blue sing out. It should show up because it's quite a light, bright colour. And I'm hoping it's going to just pull the whole thing together. So I've got a horizon line, and I'm just adding a little bit of rolled on colour as well. And I really like that. That's brought that piece up, I think, to be a really good piece. The other thing you can do, if you've got a nice piece, but you don't like all of it or you want to cover a bit up, of course, is collage over the top. So I like this dry point that I did during the weekend. I just don't like the sort of blandness of the bottom area here. So I'm just adding some collage, some tissue paper collage, to bring that up to a different level. And also just to sort of hone my colour and composition skills as well. So these pieces here, I like bits of them. I don't like all of them. These are my mark makings of me trying out different marks. So what you can use these for is really honing those composition skills, making some small collages that use the bits that you like, and they can be abstract. In fact, I suggest abstract because it's much easier to play around with composition with abstract artwork. So I'm just going to cut off these pieces here. I really like this sort of loopy calligraphic kind of marks. I really like that. And I like that against the darkness of that real dark blue, but that piece is too big, so I think I'm going to cut that down. So it's just playing around, and I use these as sort of warm-ups when I start my day in the studio. And they are a brilliant way to just get your eye in, play around, nothing too serious, not too much pressure. So I will just put these into a sketchbook, and if you just have a pile of these nice papers around, then you're much more likely to do this, and you're much more likely to just practice your composition and your playing. And if you want to as well, you can add in drawn marks onto these as well, again sort of practicing where you put them, what you'd like to put into a piece. And this really helps with figurative work as well. It just gets your eye in and gets you practicing putting things together, putting colours together, putting tones together, all that kind of stuff. So just having a pile of those nearby when you come into the studio is great. Now, another thing I really like to do with the papers that are particularly textural is create covers for books. So these are ones that I made a while ago, actually. So the inside is actually printed, so those covers are monoprinted tissue paper, and then they were put onto board. So you can, this is a bought tiny little sketchbook. It's just plain. So I just thought I would use this piece of paper to make a cover or cover up the cover, just like we used to do in school. So I'm not doing this, absolutely perfectly. It's just a nice thing to use up a nice piece of paper with some lovely graphic marks on that I don't want to lose. So I'm just cutting this piece of paper to size. Thankfully, the book kind of goes into that sort of A4 length. So like I say, and I'm sure some of you out there will be really good at doing bookbinding. I'm just doing this in a very, very simple way just to get the paper on there. So I'm just gluing this paper on. I'm just going to do one side first, and I've just cut those little corners so that I can turn it over and loop it on and stick it down. And it's just a nice, so I can get a really nice book out of this, a nice little sketchbook that I can carry on. It's a very pocket size sketchbook, this. And then I'm just going to do the other side as well, the other cover. Just getting the wrinkles and the bubbles out there. So I've just turned it over. I'm doing the other side of glue. I've put glue onto the paper. And I've used nori paste actually, but you can also get things like bookbinding glue, which are just as good. Basically, pH neutral is a good thing to use, or acid free. So you can of course put a piece of paper on the inside to cover up all those edges as well if you wish. That's absolutely fine. Just a little square, but I just quite like it like this, just nice and simple, easy, beautiful little book. And I can now take that out sketching. So another thing I like to do is create little envelopes, particularly if you've got quite a large piece that you don't know what to do with. And I put little postcard size pieces of work in there, crop down pieces of work. These are things that I sometimes send off to galleries to sort of say hi, and this is my work, and here's a little thing for you to have. So I've got these pieces here that I made a while ago. I don't know what to do with, and I put them in as sort of little postcards, and if I have the thinner paper, a large amount of thinner paper, I make a little envelope for them, which is a really nice gift to receive. You could give that to anybody for anything, really. And on a similar note, these ones here, you can make into a little sketchbook or a journal. Now, some of these you could do them different sizes so that you can create these little compositional setups as you flick through the pages, which is quite a nice thing to do as well. So I've gone from really quite small to larger pieces there, or you can do the same size. And the other thing, of course, that you can do is maybe put together pieces that are lighter so that you could sketch over these or add things into them. You almost use it as a sketchbook. If you've got darker pieces, perhaps put those together, and those could be more of a kind of journal. You could stick things into that. You could make them almost into a sketchbook. So it depends what you'd like to use these for. And I've just made another little one here, or put some little pieces together here. And it could be that they tell a story. It could be that all those marks and those pieces tell a story, and you're actually making an artist book as well. So it's entirely up to you how you do this. I just do very, very simple bindings. Of course, there are lots of people out there that will be able to show you how to do really beautiful bookbinding. But I often just put a little ribbon through, make a hole, a little ribbon through to keep all the papers together. And then you can flick through that as you need to, as you want to. And I actually quite like these just sitting one on top of the other. I think they look really nice. And it could be that you run some marks across several of those pages to make a kind of artist book as well. And the other quite simple way, of course, is just using these tiny little bulldog clips that you can put on. Then it doesn't involve any stitching or gluing or covers or anything, just a nice simple way to keep the papers together. And you could use that as a sketchbook. You could take that out with you. You could use it as a sort of scrapbook journal. artist journal, and you can just flip those back. So just very simple ways to keep your papers together in a sort of book-like form. Okay, so if you have lots of tiny little bits that you don't know what to do with, of course, one really great thing to do is to make cards. So I've just got some card stock here that I bought from our local stationers, or you could just use your own, pieces of card and fold it up. So again, this is a sort of riff on the collage thing that I was showing earlier. Just very little collages, really. They're handmade. People love to receive them, and it may even be that you can make some to sell as well. It's up to you. But I like, again, just playing around with my tiny little bits of mark making and papers that I'm not, I really don't know what else to do with. So making cards is a really nice thing to do, and you can make quite a few like this very simply. So you've got a little stash at home. And again, you could draw over these, write over these, whatever you want to do as well. So if you've got even tinier strips of paper, even like really, really little bits, then bookmarks and tags are quite useful to make. I really love these marks here, but I mean, this is a very slim piece of paper. There's not much I can do with it. It could go onto a card, but what I'm doing is I'm just sticking it down onto some card to just get it a bit thicker. And then you could make these into very small little tags. So this could be, for a gift or something like that. Just put a little hole in the corner or at the top, and you've got a beautiful little tag. And this one, again, you could put a hole in and make into a bookmark. Well, I hope that's inspired you to get out all the things you've been hoarding over the years and make some really beautiful things with them. Until next week, happy printing.